Alright, it's really cold outside. I gotta record this real fast. I'm already working on the rear right now. Let me zoom out. Hang on. I can't zoom out. Okay, but I'm working on the rear. You can see the bumpers and everything is off. The bumper is not supposed to come off. I had to do that. You'll see why in a second. Actually, no, you'll see why now. I was doing the shackles. I was going to remove them, the OEM ones, which are right here. And as you can see, it was actually pretty easy to remove them. Just 4 rivets. I just used a grinding wheel, not a grinding wheel, flap disc, and just ground the rivets down from down here and pop them out. We'll talk about this later. Right now, I had to obviously drop the fuel tank on the Suburbans and some other models, I'm not sure. But on the Suburbans, you're gonna have to drop the fuel tank to reach the back to get to the bolt. Originally, I was going to bolt the shackle in, and I'll get to that in a minute as well. While I was removing the fuel tank, these two for the fuel tank straps, these 2 bolts that hold it up, there's like a little clip thing that holds the top nut in place, and that rusted off and broke off, and this thing was just spinning freely. Now, if you didn't have a tow hitch, you could just reach back here and put a wrench on it. In my case, even if I did that, it wouldn't have worked because these things were basically seized. I am gonna have to paint this entire back part just to prevent future rust. But yeah, I did weld it in place, so they're not coming off. And so what I had to do was, I had a big trailer hitch back here, so I couldn't even reach back here, and I had to take that off to be able to reach back here. But then I couldn't take that one off because these 2 bolts for the trailer hitch were also loose. They were also held in by the 2 same clips. Actually, I don't think they were held in by any clips. I think they were just free, but I couldn't fit any wrenches up in here, so all I did was I couldn't remove the trailer hitch, so then I had to come back here, remove the bumper, and then when I was trying to remove the bumper, these 2 were spinning freely on the inside of the frame, these 2 bolts on each side, and the trailer hitch at the bottom was preventing me from sticking my hand in here or get any ratchets in here. I was able to get it in here, but holding it was super difficult, and this would have been the other way, so the bolt was in from this side. So that was super difficult, and my shoulders started hurting after a while of getting these, trying to get all these 4 out from down there. Trucks lifted up pretty high. So once I got the bumper out, then I got the trailer hitch out, and then I finally was able to get the fuel tank out. So what I did was I welded the ones for the trailer hitch, the 2 up front, so there's 3 of them. The 2 up front is actually a little, I don't think you can see that. There's actually a little plate on the top holding those 2 together, and they haven't come off yet, so hopefully they don't ever come off, or else I'm screwed because they're up inside the frame, and it's boxed in too, so I can't even reach in from the inside. So once I did that, I also welded the 2 nuts on this side. So I basically just screwed it in, pulled it back from here, and then welded it in on the inside. So that'll prevent it from spinning next time, or when I put the bumper back in. And yes, these are adjustments for the bumper. Yeah, they are like in and out adjustments for the bumper, and all I did was I basically pulled it back, and then I matched where the bolt was sitting before, I basically just put it right back there and then welded it in on all 4 of them. You can't really see it on this side, but you can see where it's like a little bit of rusting where it used to be, it was sitting there. So yeah, and then if I have to, I can just, bumper sitting right there, I could just notch the little brackets on the bumper side anyway. I just wanted to weld these in just to make it easier to put back in. These 2 are fine, so these 2 are on the side of the bumper that has to come off, so there's only 8 bolts holding the bumper in. But yeah, I had to do all of this just to get that thing out, and then finally figures I'm not even going to bolt this shackle thing in. So previously the OEM one was riveted in, it wasn't welded in. So I was gonna bolt this new one back in. I ordered it from a company I will not name right now because I don't recommend them. I ordered it a while back, and you can see here it's not lined up. One because this is for the passengers, the driver's side. We're on the passenger side right now, so this is for the passenger side, I mean the driver's side, and I put it on the passenger side because this is offset, it's not centered. They made it to sit to have the eye sitting more forward, because when you flip the shackle, you want the shackle hanger inwards so it doesn't bind up when you're flexing and everything. Problem was, when I put this, mocked it up, you can see where the holes used to be for the rivets, and let me get up. I'll show you on this one I have out right now. I have this one here, and these 4 holes did not line up at all. The ones on the truck were like smaller, not smaller holes in general, but like the holes were like in this way more, so they were more towards the center. And even if I put this up right now, you can see where if I were to bolt it in, I would have to like notch these holes or the ones on the frame. I contacted the company to return these. The holes didn't match. They're not contacting me back, and this was about just over $200. So a lot of the other kits from WFO and stuff will be $300 or so, $100 for both of them. So this was one of the cheaper ones that I found, and I guess I get what I paid for. They only have 4 bolts holding this in. The factory one has 4 on the here, and then another bracket at the bottom of the frame, you can see right there, that basically keeps it together. I'm just gonna weld them in to the truck, just because 1, it's gonna be more strong, and 2, well, it's not gonna be removable anymore, but I don't see me having to remove this anytime in the future because there's nothing around it. So if I were to take anything else out, I won't have, that's not gonna interfere with anything. So I'm completely okay with that permanently being on there. If you're not, then I was gonna just drill holes out and then bolt them in, but I'm just gonna weld it. There's the fuel tank right next to it, so I should probably be careful. I have the opposite side on this side, so I have the driver's side on this side. That's because of how it's sitting. The eye is sitting forward like that, so this is for that proper side, so for the passenger side. So the front of the truck would be like that, it would be sitting like that, and what was happening is my frame kind of bends down back here, so when I put this up, everything else was fine, and then this thing was just kind of sticking out, so I wouldn't have as much surface area to weld. So I might as well just put the passenger side on this side. Now You might be thinking, oh, if the eye is offset, why then now it's going to be really far back? No, I remember that bracket I told you about in the at the bottom of the frame. I basically just lined up the hole there, and I have it clamped right now. So this is basically going to sit in the OEM spot now, and it's just going to get welded in. So it's not going to sit any far forward or back. It's just going to be in the middle. In addition to that, I am also going to lower this bracket. I may or may not make my own because I can't find any. So I'm going to lower this one to down here. So the bolt is basically going to be sitting down here, and that's basically, so if I did that without adjusting this down, it's gonna pull the axle forward a little bit, and that's what's gonna make that hanger not really sit behind the mount there, or like proper shackle angle. So if when I move this downwards, that's gonna basically put the axle right where it was sitting, basically in the middle where it was sitting factory wise. So it's going to be sitting middle again, and I shouldn't have a problem with that being where it is right now, as long as I move that down. So that's the plan for now. But yeah, let's just let me know if welding that in is going to be a problem or not. Let me just put these back. I am going to, just because of that, of how far it sits out, I am going to make a plate, a gusset that goes from here to back here somewhere. Weld that in, so that when the spring is pushing this back, that's gonna keep it sturdy, nice and sturdy. So it's not gonna go back any further, or flex, or bend, or crack, or break, anything like that. But yeah, that's it's kind of what I've been up to. The rear end has been disassembled. It wasn't too hard. Just if you have a rusty truck, like worse than mine, good luck. Mine, I wouldn't say mine's that rusty, but it was still pretty hard. All the rust was in the back because that's where all the water was being trapped. The front's not that rusty anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.